Victory podcast family, hello and welcome back. I'm your host, Olivia West, the best host in the game. I host for the Indiana Pacers, the Fever, Athletes Unlimited Pro Basketball, and Indy Ignite Pro Volleyball Federation. Living in Victory listeners, we are in for an absolute treat today. This lady I met probably a little bit a year ago, and when I saw her play, I was like, that's someone that I want on my team, but I do not want to play against her because she will take that ball from your pocket and then go score on the other end. Living in Victory podcast listeners, we are honored to have Odyssey Sims in the building with us today. She's a dynamic force in basketball, where she led Baylor University Lady Bears to a historic 40-0 season and NCAA championship in 2012. She was selected second overall in the 2014 WNBA draft by the Tulsa Shock, which we know has shifted to the Dallas Wings. And she was a WNBA All-Star in 2019. Living in Victory podcast family, give it up for Odyssey Sims!
Hey, y'all.
Hey y'all, yes, girl. So this tambourine, it's a new addition. Yep, got it.
I like a little.
It's fun. I was playing it last night too while y'all were playing. Yeah, that's good stuff. Odyssey, thank you so much for joining us. The whole point of this Living in Victory podcast platform is to really share how different people are living in victory in multiple places of their life, whether they're athletes, entrepreneurs, in faith, whatever it looks like. And you've won on many fronts. You know, first of all, definitely on the basketball court. That's why you're here playing professionally. But I want to kind of take it back to Texas, where you grew up in Irving, Texas. Tell us about how you got started playing this game of basketball.
So I have two older brothers. My oldest brother is 9 years older than me. So, like, when I was younger, it was me and my middle brother. Me and my middle brother are, like, a year and a few months apart. So we were always, like, that's who I used to play with growing up. That's why I played, like, against boys a lot. So it was just like my mom, she used to always take me and my other brother to practice to watch our oldest brother play. We didn't have money for daycare and babysitter and stuff, so it was just like, we all got to go. And it was just like a point where it was just like we playing in the stands and stuff, and I was just like, okay, let me pick up a basketball. And I was like, I picked up a basketball when I was 5, and I just never looked back. I started playing AAU basketball when I was 8. My first AAU team was called the Fort Worth Frogs. So it was based out of Fort Worth, Texas, and we used to play at practice sometimes at TCU. So, like, in the summertime, we would go to the camps, and basically, like, we were so close. We wanted to basically play AAU all the way up until, and then we all planned to go to TCU together, just to kind of keep it going. But I played on Fort Worth Frogs for 5 years, and then as I got more exposure with basketball and stuff, I met Damian McKinney, Marcus Jackson, which is Tiffany Jackson-Jones' dad, rest in peace. And it basically was just like, you know, we want you to play on DFW Elite. And it was kind of hard for me just being with the AAU team that I've been with. We won nationals, but, you know, it's levels to basketball. I'm thinking, like, we playing in the biggest tournaments, and I get to DFW Elite, and I'm like, the gym is sold out, packed. You literally, when we walk in, you're seeing fans leave the other games to come to our games. I had never been a part of something like that.
And this is like in middle school, high school?
This was high school.
High school. So high school AAU.
Yeah. So I got to DFW Elite. I think I played, like, my first tournament with them was, like, in 8th grade. And then high school, I continued to play with them. And that's where I kind of got more exposure. And even growing up, just like when I was with my middle brother, because we're close in age, like, walk to school together, walk back, we go to the gym, the rec centers. And, like, I had a bunch of friends that played basketball, you know. Being in the rec, like, I just play with guys all the time. Like, my homeboys, like, my friends, we just always go. And it was, like, especially, like, we look forward to the summer because we was always in the gym all day. So, like, we had our lunch break. That would be a time where everybody go home, go eat. We give, like, an hour or two, come back. We're doing the same thing. There was, like, dinner because sometimes the gyms will close down. They had, like, people that did exercise, you know, yoga stuff.
Right,
so
right.
we had, like, our different times where, like,
It's like,
okay,
hurry up, we trying to hoop.
But that was, like, our break, because sometimes
Yeah.
we would all, like, as a group, go get something to eat, come back. So it was just, like, for me, it was just, like, was always in the gym. But as I was playing, I guess like I'll say kind of. I wouldn't even say high school. I wouldn't even count high school. I'll say like college was when I would like actually was like I always like I knew growing up it was just like I was always good. I was always like better than everybody. I was always, put on like, okay, she's really good, like she's talented, which I knew that part, but I'd be lying to say in middle school did I have WNBA dreams? I didn't. I
Wow.
didn't know. Like I played. It was a sport I played because I was good at it. But I played volleyball in middle school. I ran track when I was
I could
in
definitely
middle
see that.
school and
Yes.
high school.
Yeah.
So I did play other sports, but it clicked when I got to college a little bit more. I was like, okay, you're not just really good at basketball, like you're really good, but you had the potential to be, you know, play in the WNBA. So that's when it started getting, not saying I didn't take basketball serious before, but now it started to click like, okay, now this is it's set in, like this is kind of one of my dreams. Like
Let's
I
go.
can I can actually do this.
Let's
And then
go.
when I got drafted, it was like a dream come true. Still to this day, I'm still playing now. Been on several teams. So I'm just thankful still to be playing at 32. A seasoned veteran, a little bit. But I mean, I just fell in love with the game. Like as the years went by, like I said, as I figured like when my dream set in of like I want to. I kind of I want to play in the WNBA. Then that's kind of when things just kind of took off a little bit more for me.
Sometimes dreams find you,
Yeah,
right?
and I feel like that was kind of like how it went.
Yeah.
Cause like I said, like you don't know, and then like growing up is different now. We got more technology, so it's easier to watch NBA games and stuff. Like you have to have cable box, and
All that.
all that.
It used to be tough, and
Like
then trying to find it on the ESPN twos and threes was
and then
it
we
was
had the
so hard.
VCRs and all that stuff, and like not like I didn't grow up with a lot of money. My mom didn't always have it, so she always made a way for me and my brothers, of course. So I'm thankful forever. Would be grateful for that.
Mhm.
So it just hit different. But yeah, like I feel like that dream just kind of found me, and it was one I was just like, no, I actually do want this. Like
Yeah.
this can work. And I
Yeah.
just kind of just took the opportunity. Man, like I said, I'm just blessed to still actively be playing and continuously growing as a player and just keeping my fire on the court.
Let's go. Yes. And that is so impactful though that you had to come into agreement with the decision to you wanted to be great, right? I mean, you obviously were very, very good coming out of high school. Y'all, coming out of high school, Odyssey was the #1 point guard in the nation, okay? So don't let her fool you that like she was just out running around playing. No, she was dominating on both ends of the court. But I love that you had to come into agreement with the dream, with the aspiration, because success doesn't happen just because. It doesn't happen by default. You chose to be successful. You put in the work. You were itching, waiting for the yoga classes to be done so you could get back on the court to
Right.
do that work. And in large part, you were training with guys, with people who were going to push you, with people who are going to, inspire you to jump higher, run faster, and be more. And I think all of us, regardless of what you do, you got to be around people like that. And you also got to be willing to do the work. Because
Right.
we know, y'all, work does not do itself, does it?
No, it doesn't. And being in the gym is just hits different. It's just now as you get older, you can't do the same things you was doing. Of course, when I was 15, being in the gym all day,
Yeah.
something's gonna hurt after the first hour or so. It is what it is. But just doing the little things like just getting the extra shots, even if it's 10, 15 minutes, getting in work on your off day, staying in the weight room, just little stuff like that, maintaining maintenance and just making sure you're getting better.
You definitely win in the margins, the recovery, right? Just basketball IQ, being more of a floor general, and just using some really great discretion when taking shots, when making passes. I feel that all the time when I'll see professionals like dive on the ground. I was like, "Ooh, is that worth it?" It's
But sometimes it's just like, you have so many different players, and sometimes it's like you have some players that it's just instilled in, give it your all. I mean, when I was a little bit younger, yes, I dive on the floor. Can't say I would now. Not trying to be funny. Not saying I'm not giving my all.
right.
You know, just a little bit older, so I'm still gonna play hard, but
Yeah.
probably it's gonna take me a little minute to get up.
For sure. And it's more of a change of pace, maybe rhythm, right? I mean, now just really being that floor general and being that leader that you are, being a vet in the league. Let's talk about your time at Baylor University because this is probably one of the most exciting times in women's college basketball ever. I remember I was a young doe just watching this at home, and I'm like, there is no way they're gonna keep winning. Baylor University, 40-0, 40-0. That's crazy. That's amazing. I've never done something 40 times and wanted it in my life, much less a basketball game in a row. It was you. It was Brittany Griner. It was who else? What made that type of success possible?
So I came in my freshman year. Obviously,
Freshman of the year, by the way, by the end of the year. Do not let her fool you. She came in and balled out.
So, of course, with Brittany's class, they came in, they had the number one recruiting class. Kemoka did a great job of finding the right pieces, putting together a championship team. Then I came in my freshman year, and we were good. We only lost 3 games, and we were supposed to win. That was the year we were supposed to win a national championship. But, of course, when you get to playoffs, you get everybody's best. So we get to Texas A&M. Sydney Colson, Danielle Adams, Sydney Carter, that group, Kelsey Bone, that group was so dominant. And we had played them because at the time they were in the Big 12. So that was like the biggest rivalry. We always came out on top.
I bet.
It was always a nitty-gritty game down to the wire, but it was like we always beat them. So playing a team, of course, 3 or 4 times, and in where's win or go home, I mean, they shot lights out. Everything we did wrong, they did right. And it was their year. And I remember Coach Moki telling us, she said, whoever wins this game is going to win the national championship.
There was a lot on the line.
And I mean, this was to go to the Final Four.
Yeah.
The winner, I mean, you had Notre Dame, and I can't remember if it was probably UConn, because they played Notre Dame in the championship. And it was one of those, like, I don't know what this lady talking about. You know what I'm saying? I'm young, so I'm just like, no. And I remember watching the championship game, and I'm like, wow. Nobody expected or picked Texas A&M to win. And it was like, she was actually telling the truth. So we get to my sophomore year, coming off of, we were supposed to get to the Final Four, we didn't. Now we're in a year where it wasn't like it was expected. We just knew we were good, but it was just a year of, we just kept winning. It was just our year, and it went for 40 games. It was fun. It was like the feeling, it was just, I can't really even describe it. It was just, I just remember crying and just like running, and like I'm just looking for a teammate. Everybody was hugging somebody. I'm just like, somebody pick me, grab me, let me cry, you know what I mean? It was just a moment of like, you look back, and still to this day, I was like, we made history. But it was like, to be a part of that. I still have my ring and everything. I'm just like, wow. Like, I still think, because we had a couple games where, like, all our games, even though we went 40-0, we weren't winning by 20 and 30. Like, we were still playing Tennessee's at the time, Notre Dame's in regular season, non-conference play. We had the top dogs. We played UConn my freshman year at UConn. We played UConn my sophomore year. So we were still playing the top 10 other teams along with us in non-conference and leading into conference.
Yeah.
So it was still battles. Like when Notre Dame came to us my sophomore year, I believe we only won by like 5. And it was a game like we didn't know if we were gonna win or not. But it was just our year. It was just fun. It was just one that, like, I was just happy to be a part of.
Absolutely. Because we all know that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Right.
So not only was your team incredibly talented, but you were doing the work. You don't win 40 games by happenstance. You do it by coming together saying, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to strategize. Also, as a true competitor, which you are, which a lot of our listeners are as well, you don't want to win when someone else is weak. You want to win when the other team brought their best and you were just a bit better.
Exactly.
You want to win that the other team hits their shots, gets the rebounds, doesn't lose the ball. You want to win with the highest level of competition. Like me, I want to be the best of the best. I don't want to be the best of the mediocres.
Right.
I want to be unequivocally the best. And that is what y'all did, not only going 40-0 in the regular season, but then topping it off with that championship.
And
wow.
that's what makes it even that much better, on top of going 40-0, because it was not a night, regardless if it was a ranked opponent or not, that we didn't get everybody's best. Every team that we played, all 40 games, literally gave us their best. And it was like, we expected it. Obviously, we had a target on our back. We were number one team in the country. Can they do it? Can they do it? As it got to 30 and 0, it was like, okay, these ladies, these women might go, they might be on their way to a perfect season. Boom, now we're in the NCAA tournament. Now we're at the Final Four. Boom, we get past. Now we're in the championship. So it was so much riding on there, so much pressure, but it was just like, we were just always a little bit better. We just found a way to win. Whether like Coach Monkey always said, you only need 1 point to win. Whether you play your worst or your best, you only need 1 point to win. And it was just everything was just clicking from game 1 to 40.
Let's go. You only need 1 point to win. That is brilliant because
Yeah.
that is where success is. As
Yes.
soon as you've made it to the mountaintop, keep on going. Keep on going, keep shining, keep growing. And that was remarkable to watch. I remember sitting at home. I don't even think I knew where Baylor was. Listen, I grew up in a very small town in northern Indiana, but I was like, wherever that is, there's some dogs over there.
Yeah.
But it was really, really remarkable. Coming out of college, obviously a very successful collegiate career. Coming out of college, selected number 2 by the Tulsa Shock in 2014. You then went on to dominate your rookie season, averaging double digits, 16.7 points a game. That first rookie season, very successful. And then an injury happened, season 2. How did that feel coming off of such a successful and healthy college career? A successful and healthy rookie season to then having to deal with this injury?
Um, it was my second injury. I tore my ACL my senior year in high school during playoffs, first play of the game. So I kind of had already had a feel like not my first injury, so I'll be okay. But it wasn't as hard as I thought. I mean, I did my rehab. I came back 6, 7 months, and I was back stronger than ever. I feel like wasn't too bad. I just think with all injuries, whether it's a couple months or 6 months, you hear that and you're like, oh, it's a long time from now. Because once again, you have to start over. You have to strengthen your muscles. You have to do the rehab, go to rehab, get through it. You have some days are tougher than worse. So of course, it was a mental thing, but it just the grit for me to just continue to stay with it helped me. Helped me shape as a player. Just playing basketball, you just never know what's gonna happen. So not saying I expected it, was just one of those you can't control it. Like I said, I rehab, got better, and didn't look back.
Absolutely. Sometimes you got to go through what you got to go through to get to what you're meant to. And I feel like setbacks are inevitable. We're all going to have setbacks, but instead of focusing on that, how can we focus on the comeback?
Right.
Because, you're rehabbing your body, but your mind is still sharp as a whip, and you could still study, listen, watch. There's so many things that we could do in the meantime. And I mean, I feel like a lot of people I talk to right now are like kind of swirling and like, I don't know what I want to do. Okay, decide and then do the work. We have got to focus on not just bouncing back, but coming back better. And you absolutely did that. Your WNBA career has been spent with a couple franchises, with the Sparks, the Lynx, the Sun, now
Atlanta, missing one.
Atlanta, okay.
Minnesota.
Yeah, Lynx, got that.
Okay.
Sun. Anyway, you have experienced a couple of different entities, and obviously that's tough, right? Because you got to find your rhythm. You got to earn that starting spot, earn that playtime, earn the trust of your teammates, earn the love of the fans. If you just want to talk a bit about how you've maintained the integrity of your game and yourself with all that transition.
I mean, I think like my first time being traded, because when I was playing with Tulsa, we played those 2 years, my first two, and then we moved to Dallas my third year. So I got through that third year, and I was overseas, and I remember just getting a call, and it was about this time in February, and my agent was just like, "Hey, you've been traded to LA." And I'm young, so I'm just like, "Okay." No courtesy heads up, but didn't even talk to the GM. It was just kind of just happened. So I was just like, okay, going to a new team. Just they just won a championship. So of course I'm happy. I'm like, I could win a championship early in my career. So I'm excited playing with Chelsea Gray. Who else? We had Elena Beer, Essence Carson. I mean, our roster was just incredible. And we went on. We went to the finals, and it was we were right there.
Yeah.
But we came up short. And then I stayed with LA in 2018. Boom, another situation. LA trades me. Didn't know, to Minnesota. And it was just like, okay, going to another franchise, kind of finding my way. But I will say in Minnesota, I was taken care of. Not that I wasn't in LA, just kind of my roles changed from 2017 to 2018.
Yeah.
I went from being a starter to playing a lot of minutes, to coming off the bench. Minutes went down, production went down,
Yeah.
being able to kind of just stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2019, I was able to get back up.
Yeah.
Stay with Minnesota, 2019, 2020, 21, boom. Just same thing, traded again in Atlanta. Played 1 year there. Probably the worst of my career. Team-wise, it was just so much going on.
A lot.
That
Also,
year.
y'all, she just like breezed over the fact, yes, she was getting traded, but in 2020, she also had a son. Like
I
this
mentioned that too.
sister is right. Like it's not just the on the court stuff. Everybody sees that. You know, people see the trade headlines, and some people think it's entertaining, but I've come to realize how emotional it is. I mean, it shakes up your whole life. It shakes up the place you lay your head at night. Right? I mean, it shakes up your family, and now you had your son in 2020. That transitions a lot. That shifts your perspective, your priorities.
It did. Definitely helped me to keep going. I'll say just my last few years in the league, with Dallas, being cut from Dallas, picked up again last year, being cut again, and I went to LA on a hardship. And sometimes it's not always about going to the team that's won the most, or you just never know. They always talk about behind the scenes. You never know what's going on within the organization, whether you're winning a lot. Just because you're winning a lot doesn't mean that it's still not some things that's going on that's not talked about. And I'll just say, being with LA with that short time, I had a lot of fun. The games, even though we only won 2 games I was there, the games we lost still felt like we won, just because of the love that was in the locker room. The stuff that you deal with, you're around other women. So, we're females. Like, I don't like her. You still have coworkers, and, like, you don't get along with everybody that you work with. Just because it's basketball, you're like, it's easy. All you got to do is play basketball. Still, as females, we have a lot going on. So,
as people in general, there's some people I'm like, man, they're tough.
You get what I mean?
I'm like,
so
is there any way
sometimes
they
coming to a workplace is just like, okay, I have to put that to the side for the sake of the team. It's not just like, okay, I don't like her, but at the same time, we still have to work together.
We're here to win.
So putting that aside, and it was just like, drama-free. I've dealt with bad locker rooms. I've dealt with a little bit of everything throughout my career. So being able to stick with it, now I'm on a full contract.
I was just going to say, y'all, she had so much
Yay.
fun in LA. And not only that, they had fun with her. That she's back, baby, 2025,
Yes.
1 year contract. Odyssey, how excited are you? Because you're not just joining a team of potential, you're joining a team with some dogs on it. You got Kelsey
Yes,
Plum,
and I'm
Cam
excited.
Brink,
Yes.
Odyssey Sims,
Dearica.
Dearica Hamby.
Rakia Jackson. I mean, do I need to keep going? Lexi Brown is on contract. Ray Burrell. I mean,
the whole team, they're there to win. I think as every team in the WNBA right now, everyone is stacking their chips. I mean, no one at this point, especially with the CBA being renegotiated, the game's going to change, the league's going to change. But this year, 2025, is something special. What can you tell people about what you're going to bring to the table and to the court this year?
Well, first off, let me just say the trades have just been spicy all the way around from every team. Whoa, okay?
Yeah.
I'm most excited just because of everybody moving around. But my team, what I'm going to bring, I mean, I just feel like every team I've been on, I've always been myself. So I look at myself, when I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I look at myself as just kind of like an energizer bunny. Like I said, it goes back to, like, I'm not a person that has to have, like a player that has to have the ball. I can affect the game in so many other ways. Me getting a steal and just laying it up trickles down. Now my teammates feel it. Now they're playing just a little bit harder. Like, little stuff like that is what gets me going. Me seeing that my energy is contagious to my other teammates, where they play a little bit harder. Somebody who's not as good on defense has turned it up a little bit. People coming to me, teammates, like, no, help me be better at this. That's music to my ears. So being able just to affect my teammates in a positive way and coming in and just being that spark, like, I wasn't a morning person. Having my son now, I'm a morning person. Like I used to be the one like, don't talk to me, don't talk to me. Now it's like when I'm up, I'm up. Like I'm like, good morning. Hey, everybody is okay today? We
Let's
good?
go. Let's
I'm
go.
just checking temperature to see like y'all in a good mood. If you're not in a good mood, I'm not gonna stop talking. Like that's just me.
Yeah.
I like to just
Yeah,
get
yeah.
an energy. And I would just like to everybody to feel me and let my energy just trickle off.
Same.
So
Maybe you need a tambourine. You think?
maybe.
Not this one. This one mine. But maybe we can get you one. Tambourine is a mood changer. I'm telling y'all, Energizer Bunny with it.
I might.
I think the Energizer Bunny has a tambourine.
Really?
Oh my goodness!
You're right.
I think he does.
You are right. You are right.
Okay, maybe I'll have to hit
You
him
might
up.
be on to something.
It might
I
be
don't know.
on
I don't know. It's LA. They're more of a bougie. I don't know.
I
if the
know, but
tambourine,
LA Spark. You
You right. But that's
Honestly,
what I look at myself.
there you
kind
go.
of like a little
There you go.
spark to the spark.
I love that. Odyssey Sims, thank you so much for joining us today on the Living in Victory podcast. If you had to leave our listeners with one piece of how they can live in victory, what would that thing be?
I would just say when you want to go get something and you're determined, don't give up. And when you get it, whether it's an opportunity that comes, and when you get the opportunity, take full advantage. To me, that's what living in victory means. Staying with it, having that motivation, whether it's to be a manager, general manager somewhere, whether it's whatever it is, or you have an aspiration to be a doctor. When you have that self-doubt, whatever it is, and you break through the no, you're not good enough, or you won't be able to, and you get to that point, that's living in victory, where you can not look down on everybody, but just to say, I did it.
Yeah.
That's big. That speaks volumes.
Amazing. Odyssey Sims, thank you so much for joining us today on the Living in Victory podcast. And listeners, continue to go out and live in victory because you're already a winner. See you soon. Who's going to stop you? No one.